We're going to have rapid fire, but before I go, I want to ask you a couple of questions. Would we think that Major League Baseball is the big leagues? Yeah, it probably would be. Would it? How about the NBA or the NFL or the NHL? Are those the big leagues? Yeah, but I'm also going to say this. Do you realize they don't even compare as far as being in the big leagues to your life? I'm going to say your life is the big leagues. And I'm going to say that instead of us getting crazy and excited and painting our faces over sports teams, we should be crazy and excited about our lives and changing our lives for the better for our family and for everybody that we can affect in our lives. You know, I'm going to start off. I've got 10 things. There was actually 17 on my list, but I decided I couldn't go through 17, so I picked what I thought were the 10 most important, and I'm going to spend just a minute or two on each one. And this is the keys to success. This is the keys to changing your life, because you're going to have all the scripts, you're going to have all the how-tos and all that stuff, but I'm going to tell you, it's really going to come down to what you've got inside if you really want to be a top earner in this company. It's really going to come down to your attitude. It's really going to come down to the fiber that you're made of. That's really what it's going to boil down to. And I'm going to try to cover some of that stuff now. Now, my first one is we got to have purpose. Do you realize there's more to life than just making money? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with making money. I like to make money. Anybody in here like to make money? I mean, it's fun to make money, absolutely. But I'm going to tell you what, if that's your whole focus, it's not good. You know, I'm going to tell you, my purpose in life, number one, is to exalt Jesus, number one. Number two, it's to be the best husband, father, and grandfather that I can be. Number three, it's to be, a friend that can be counted on. And then number four, it's going to be that when I am doing this business, I am doing this to help other people, and the byproduct just happens to be what? We make money. Do you realize Zig Ziglar said it, if you'll help enough other people get what they want out of life, you can have anything you want out of life? I'm telling you right now, we've got to be focused on helping our teams. We've got to get into our organization. We've got to get lost in the success of our teams, and our success is guaranteed if we will do that. We have got to have a purpose, and it's got to be more than just making money, ladies and gentlemen. Number two, we got to have plans. And, I could spend an hour and a half giving a lecture on goal setting, but I'm telling you right now, I'm hoping that in a group of leaders, a group of winners, that we have goals. I could show you on my phone, and anybody that wants to, you can look at them. I've got 14 goals for 2023, and I'm working to reach those goals. If you don't have goals, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know where you're trying to get, then how are you ever going to know if you get there or not? I'm going to tell everybody in here, and everybody look up here and get this. Everybody in here, we should have our freedom number. Do we have our freedom number? In your mind, you should know what number it takes for you to be able to do the life you want to do. That if you want to get rid of that job, you can get rid of that job. If you want to do something for your church or your family, then you've got the finances to do it. We should all have a freedom number. And I'm going to tell you, put it on your list, guys. Know what your freedom number is. If I looked at your goals, I should be able to see when you're going to be promoted next. I mean, we want to move up that leadership ladder. Guys, we've got to have goals. I don't have time to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm telling you right now that it is key. And you say, why do you put yours on your phone? You know why I put them on my phone? Because I always have what? My phone with me. Do you realize I read my goals in the morning and I read my goals at night? It stays fresh on my mind. I know what I'm trying to accomplish with my life. And understand, it's not just financial goals. It's health goals, spiritual goals, relationship goals, personal growth goals. I mean, we should have all kinds of goals in our lives, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to challenge each and every one of us that, one, if you don't have goals, to write them down before you go to bed tonight. That is huge. Number two, if you haven't gone through and updated your goals in a while, I'm going to challenge each and every one of us before we go to bed tonight to update our goals. And then I want us to start reading them on a daily basis. You may not put them on your phone. Maybe you put them on the bathroom mirror, but put them somewhere where you see them on a regular basis, where they stay fresh on your mind, where your mind will continuously be working, trying to help you. And I'll get into that in just a second. Procrastinate. We must not procrastinate. Do you know what the biggest stealer of dreams is? Procrastination. Yep, I'll get around to it. Oh, I'll do that as soon as this weekend's over. I'll do that as soon as the new party gets in office. I'll do that as soon as Aunt Agnes moves out of the house. I'll do that as soon as... How many people are guilty of doing some of those? I know I am. You know, I'm telling you what, procrastination is the greatest stealer of dreams, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to understand that we got to quit procrastinating. I'm going to say this, life goes by in a hurry. We're here for a flash. We've got to get as much accomplished as we can, as quick as we can, because those years keep on clicking on by. And I know some of you young folks are saying, no, he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, I used to think my mom was that way too. She'd tell me how fast life went by. She'd say, as you get older, it moves quicker. And I'd be going, Mom, a year's a year. It ain't. As you get older, those years start moving a little faster. We've got to quit procrastinating, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get busy, because life does not stop for anybody. And we've got a chance to change our lives, but it won't happen if we're procrastinating. Discipline. You know what discipline is? Discipline is doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not. Do you realize some days you're going to get up and you're so pumped up about ACN, man? I mean, you wish it was tattooed all over you. You just love ACN. You can't wait to get on the phone and talk about ACN. Some days, I mean, it's just, ooh, man, I'm fired up. And Billy Bob signed up, and boy, I got 3 new customers. Man, this is awesome. But then some days you wake up and you don't even want to hear ACN, do you? You know the difference between winners and losers? Winners will do it whether they feel like it or not. Losers only do it what? When they feel like it. I'm going to tell you, there's going to be lots of days in your life where you're not going to feel like making those calls. You're not going to feel like doing the stuff you need to be doing that you know you need to be doing. But if you've got discipline, then you will do it anyway. Again, discipline is doing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not. Focus. Focus. Have you ever heard in sports where they say that person, that guy, that gal, they were in the zone. Boy, they were in the zone, man. Basketball player, man, everything they threw up was going in. They're in the zone. That quarterback, man, he was putting that ball right on target every time. He was in the zone. I'm going to say it again. Our life is the big leagues. And if a football player can get in a zone, if a basketball player can get in a zone, it's time we get in a zone to change our lives. Don't we think? I'm telling you right now, we need to get focused on what we're doing. By the time you walk out of here tomorrow afternoon, you're going to have all the stuff you need to get going. You're going to know, for you new folks, you're going to know everything you need to make it happen. But it's going to really boil down to, are you going to get focused? Are you going to keep working on this thing till you do get in the zone and we start changing our lives, guys? Understand how significant and important it is for us to change our lives. Do you realize 80% of Americans hate their job? 80% hate their job. We've got an answer, but we got to do what it takes to get the word out to them, guys. We've got a chance to do it, but it's going to take us getting focused. The next one, this is probably one of my favorite ones. We got to work hard. And do you realize the work hard is, this isn't a job. We don't have to clock in. We don't have a boss breathing over our shoulder. But every day we got to get out there and we got to be consistent with what we do. We've got to be making those calls. And you know, it always chaps my butt when I'll be talking to somebody about doing the business. They go, oh, I don't have time. Let me see. When you're driving, could you just make 2 or 3 phone calls as you're driving back and forth to work? Could you do that? You know, I'm talking about, you know, somebody that tells me they don't have time. And I'm thinking, We can all find time to make 2 or 3 phone calls. We can all, if we just bump into somebody at the grocery store while we're getting gas, or if we're talking to somebody at the gym or whatever, we can all say a few words to them doing that. You realize this business is not about setting aside 8 hours that I'm going to work AC in. This business is about getting an attitude, about keeping an antenna up. And yeah, we need to make us 2 or 3 phone calls a day, absolutely, to prospects and try to set up PBCs and try to get them to meetings and all the stuff we do. But there's nobody out there that if it's important to change their life can't find time to make 2 or 3 phone calls and can't talk to somebody that they bump into at the store. Guys, we've got to understand we can all do this business. Even on busy days, we can do this business. The hard work is not hard work. Let me tell you what, I have roofed houses. That is hard. I have poured concrete when it was 100 degrees outside during the summer. That was a summer job I had. That was hard. I've helped dig ditches when the sewer line got stopped up. That was hard. Making a phone call to somebody is not hard. Come on, guys, everybody in here, you got the ability to do this. Let's make sure that we do. Let's make that we have that attitude that we're going to work hard. We're going to make this thing happen. All right, next one, be a lifelong learner. Anybody that's been around me for any length of time realizes this is probably my favorite one. I'm telling you right now that, you know, when I was in college, I was on the Just Get Me Out of Here program. I knew I wanted to be a basketball coach. I knew I had to have a degree to do that, but, just get me out of here. Give me that degree. Let me go start coaching. That's what I was focused on. But years ago, I made a decision that I was going to be a lifelong learner. And now you can ask Jeannie, I am reading books. I am watching videos of personal growth giants. I'm running with successful people. I'm doing everything that I can to suck up all that knowledge that I can, because I want to know more than I used to know. Every day, I want to be just a little bit better than I was the day before. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the big keys to your success is going to be you becoming a different person. Last thing I'll say about this one, if we read 10 pages today, would it change our life? Probably not. Could, I guess, but probably not. But what if we read 10 pages again tomorrow? And would we all in here say that we could squeeze out 15, 20 minutes and read 10 pages if we thought it was important? Yes or yes? Yeah, we could. Well, okay, what if we read 10 pages the next day out of a good book, and 10 pages the next day out of a good book, and 10 pages the next day out of a good book? Ladies and gentlemen, if we did that every day for 1 year, 10 times 365 is 3,650 pages. You've read a dozen or 2 good books. I'm going to tell you right now, if we'd all take that time to read us 10 pages, if we met here again next year at this exact same time, and we all did that, our bodies may look similar, but I'm telling you, our minds would be totally different. Our thought process would be totally different. Guys, we've got to start changing as a person and growing as a person. We've got to become a lifelong learner. Now, right mindset. Here's this. Everybody look up here and get this, because this is so key to us. The right mindset. Do you realize if we do all these things on my list that I'm putting out there, we're becoming the right person, and we're reading, and we're setting goals, and we're doing all that. Do you know your mind has a little organ in there called a reticular cortex? Now, I'm going to sound like I'm smart, but I'm not really that smart, Martha. But I mean, I've read about all this stuff, huh? But it's got a reticular cortex, and our bodies have a reticular activating system. And you say, well, that sounds fancy. What does that mean? How many have done this? You see this beautiful blue Camry on the showroom lot, and you buy this beautiful blue Camry. I'm going to be the only one with this beautiful blue Camry, because you haven't seen any beautiful blue Camrys driving around your neighborhood. But then you buy that car, and you get to the first intersection, and you start looking around going, there's a blue Camry. There's a blue Camry over there. Has anybody experienced something like that? Yeah, I mean, we do that. You know what that is? That's your reticular activating system, because now your mind is looking for that because you have one now. Do you realize that works the same way if you have goals? Do you know that works the same way if you've got plans that you're going through every day? Do you understand it works the same way, that your mind will be looking for ways to help you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish? Just like it points out that there's a blue Camry on the next intersection right there, your mind it never sleeps, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're putting the right stuff in your mind, and if you've got the right goals, and if you're doing the right things, your mind is always trying to figure out a way to help you accomplish that. I'm telling you right now, we need to have the right mindset, and we need to be putting the right stuff in our mind and letting our reticular activating system. Tell that to your next prospect. They'll think you're real smart when you say that, huh? Good time management. You know, I could have thrown this up earlier, I guess, but I'm telling you right now, how many of us realize that the average American spends 6 hours a day either watching television or scrolling the internet? Let me say that one more time. The average American, I know we're not average in here, but the average American spends 6 hours a day either watching TV or scrolling the internet. Can you think of how much that average American could accomplish if they spent that in a constructive, positive way instead of wasting their time? Do you realize what I call a TV? I call it a time-wasting electronic income reducer. My theory on watching TV is this. I don't want to watch millionaires having fun. I wanted to be a millionaire having fun. And we're not going to become a millionaire having fun if we're spending our time watching that time-wasting electronic income reducer. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're scrolling the internet all the time, and I'm not saying you can't watch a movie with your spouse or you can't, if you're a sports fan. I mean, I'm a Mavericks fan. I love Luka Doncic and Kyrie. I like watching them. I watch that every once in a while. But do you realize I'll go weeks and never turn my TV on? I got better things to do with my life. You've got better things to do with your life than spending it scrolling the internet or watching television. All right, number 10, we must have burning desire. You know, I'm going to go back to what I said when I first came out here, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, those NBA teams and NFL teams and NHL teams and Major League Baseball teams, sure, they're important. We love them. We enjoy watching them. But that's not the big league, not compared to our lives. Our lives are the big leagues, and you understand we've got a chance to change our lives right now. With what the 4 co-founders have brought us, with what the services we have to offer now, with the compensation plan that is fabulous, with all the stuff that we've got going, it really takes us getting serious about it. It really takes us getting that burning desire that we really want to change our lives. I'll say it again, people get all dressed up and paint their faces and do crazy things, hoping somebody will score a touchdown. I'm saying we need to get fired up. Maybe we don't paint our faces with ACN blue or something, but I'm telling you right now, we need to get excited and serious and have that burning passion to change our lives, change our families' lives. Guys, it is time we do that. See, what I'm going to challenge all of us to do, take a picture of this and think this through about what you need to be doing, how you can change your life. But what I want us to do, everybody look up here. Not literally, but figuratively, we're going to draw a line in the sand today. We're going to draw a line in the sand, and we're going to make a decision that we're going to show the people with our last name that they can do something special. We're going to show our kids and grandkids that somebody with our last name can do something amazing. We're going to lead by example because, see, ladies and gentlemen, we're all going to leave a legacy. We're going to leave a legacy. Whether you want to or not, you're leaving a legacy. I'm going to say, let's leave a legacy that we can be proud of. That when we're not here, we know we have accomplished the point of showing our kids and grandkids that they can follow us in a good way. And it goes back to number 1, we need a purpose, and our purpose should be the good Lord first, our family second, our friends, and then our business. But we're going to make that decision today that we're going to quit playing with this thing. Because I know from my team, I've got a lot of people just playing with the business. Guys, it's time. This is the biggest, baddest thing you could ever have. You got to understand, I can't promise you anything, but I'm telling you what, we got a chance to do something crazy right now. There's a reason I'm back in the game. Let's make that decision. Let's do this. Guys, let's not screw this up. We don't get many chances like this in our lives. I believe with all my heart, there'll be 2 groups of us. There's going to be the group that's glad they did, and there's going to be the group that wishes they had. God bless you guys.